What's up, penis? Welcome. Welcome to a Frazzlog. We are on our way home. We have been currently addicted to the video game Fallout Shelter. Now I'm kind of late to the party here. I've played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, but Fallout Shelter was one of those games where I was like, it's a mobile game. Probably won't download it, and then everyone's like, oh, it's pretty cool though. Okay, we're gonna play this game. Alright, fuck. Let's get that big boy revving up. Local corn, new potatoes. But yeah, so, I just saw that this was like an app came out there. I was like, it doesn't really seem like it's going to offer much to me, so I just won't really bother with it. So I never tried it or anything like that. And then something clicked. I saw it got ported to the Xbox, and I was bored one night, and I was like, I'm uploading a video, so I can't play Overwatch, and I just started it up, and was messing around a little bit. I was like, this is kind of clunky a little bit, a little confusing. Like, they didn't really tutorial you so well. I mean, they kind of do, but kind of not. But after like every day you get an evaluation. It's basically like a daily login bonus. Most games have those now, which is awesome. It really keeps you on the game. But yeah, so every time I'd log in, it would say, hey, you had 86% appreciation, you had 90% appreciation. One day it came on and I was in like the yellows. It said I was at like 60 or something appreciation. I was like, well, what the fuck? I gotta do better. So this game is a sim. You basically you have a vault. You create your own vault, which is a space underground, and you're given, I think, like 10 people or something in the beginning to start with, and then you build different rooms inside of this vault, and you breed people, you train them to be better at things, and you assign them tasks and stuff. And I've seen what endgame of this game looks like, and it looks pretty nuts. But the early game stuff, I'm really liking it. It's very it can get hectic. It looks pretty kooky. I was what was I doing? Oh, I was doing pretty good for a while there, and making sure everybody's healed up, trying to make sure everybody's in the right department for their skills. I find that you have to have all the women pregnant at all times to like maximize your thing. Gotta do that. I'm so paranoid, dude. Anytime I see a vehicle with like a giant what do you call those things? What do you call the thing on the very, like, on the front of a car that it goes in front of the grill? It's kind of like police cars have it, so when they ram into things, it's like that iron, like, cage type thing. It's kind of like a cow pusher, but not really. It's like a couple of giant iron bars in front of the car. Every time I see that on the front of a car, I always think, oh, fuck, the sheriff's gonna fucking arrest me and I'm gonna go to jail. So I always think that shit, but it hasn't happened yet. But, yeah, so I got into this situation in Fallout Shelter where I had left the room to go do something with my fiance, and then all of a sudden I started hearing, like fires going off in the game, and I'm like, they'll put them out. So I come back out, and all of a sudden everyone in my vault's pretty much dead, except for a couple people. What else happened? Oh, I had run out of all resources because all of the rooms that produce resources like water and food, those people were dead too. So I literally was like running low on everything. I was freaking out. So what I did was, very slowly I was able to rebuild my resources back up, and then I was able to kind of redeem myself. The game's really weird because you can play it by not even like playing the game. Sort of like you can log into the game, you know, click on all your resources. Maybe, you know, send some people on some quests or check in on how they're doing, stuff like that. You do that. And then, you know, maybe check out your resources again. As long as your resources are in the green state instead of like red or yellow, you seem to be pretty good, which is cool. But there's other ways to play the game. Like the way I've been playing is I'll go into the game with that intention, like, I'll just check out my resources, you know, and make sure everybody's like fully healed and stuff. Boot up the game, start doing that, and then what'll happen is, oh, I just had 3 new babies. I better get them, you know, situated. And then, oops, I see the mysterious stranger pop up, which is a cool little element. And basically, I think it only happens if you have the game up for a little bit, like maybe like every 5 minutes or so. The mysterious stranger, this guy who like wears a trench coat, he will like materialize into like one random room in your entire like shelter, and you have to find him and then click on him. And if you do, you can get like money given to you. So like last night I had a jackpot of like 3,000 bottle caps, which is the currency, which was awesome because this was like right after that state of emergency where all my people were dead. So I was able to use that to kind of like revive a bunch of people, and I upgraded my my med bay to the final form, so it can like every time the time goes up, it makes like four health packs or something like that, which is a lot. But no, it's just like a simple but like addicting game, and it's so funny because I get hooked on these little mobile games so easily. There was this game called Battle Gems, and I played it. I had seen my friend at work playing it, and then I was like, oh, I'll download it on my tablet. So I downloaded it on my tablet, and I started liking it so much that I saw that there was like a pay option for like $15 or something, or $5 to $15. I don't remember anymore. You could get like a premium version of the game, and so I got this thing, and it basically made it so there was no wait times. A lot of those mobile games, you'll have like an energy pool, and once you've done 50 actions, you have to wait, you know, like every 3 minutes you get another 1 or 2 energy points or something. So this game, you would buy this item, and it would allow you to just bypass that completely. They gave you like 33% increased money whenever you gain money, things like that. And there's like, I picked up that game and I had played it so much I was like addicted. And Candy Crush I was kind of into, but that was a game that was so built around using money. Cause like I remember playing that game. Every time I went to the bathroom, or every time I was on break at work, and my night crew manager, my buddy there, he was on the game. He was the one who got me into it, and at the time he was at like level 300 or something, and I'm like slowly working my way up to him, and I'm pretty good at games, so I was like, I'll catch up to this idiot in no time. Playing the game and everything, and I think I got up to like 190 or 200 or something, but he was still like quite a ways ahead of me. But the way that game worked, and I remember this still, is the amount of energy they give you, or the amount of tries you can play a level before you like you run out of energy or time. It only ever equated to like maybe 1 or 2 missions, or maybe 3 at most. So what would happen is I would start up a level, I wouldn't have enough time or enough blocks, because that game was all about gems and shit. You'd have to like match gems, or no, it's candy. You had to match candy, obviously. So you match candy, and then what do you call it? You match candy, and if you didn't have enough time to find like the right candies, or you might get a bad like roll of the dice. You might have like just really weird looking puzzles where you couldn't find the candies in time. That's one of your tries or whatever. So you know you try that level once, then you try it again, you beat it the second time, get on to the next level, you fail that one twice, then you beat it your third time, and then next thing you know, you're out of like tries for the next like half hour. But my point is I really appreciate with Fallout Shelter that you're able to just consistently keep playing the game. They've added a bunch of things to the game that just allow you to keep playing it. So what I typically do is I'll send a couple guys out on a quest, or I'll just send them out into the wilderness or whatever. Let them go do that. While they're doing that, I'm systematically going from like room to room and rushing them to a very high percentage. So every room has a timer bar. So like let's say for example the med bay. You go to the med bay. I've got like 5 people in there, whatever. I hit the rush button. So a task that would take 14 minutes would all of a sudden just be completely just done instantly. Boom. And that just bypassed the timer. If it's successful, you get experience. If it's not successful, you get experience. You just don't get the item. So it's just very, very rewarding to use that rush feature because it speeds up the game. And I'm always just trying to make sure all my resources are maxed out for the day. That way I can just be like, yeah, I should get a high evaluation score or whatever. I think that's how it works. So, but like that, just that one little feature of rushing gives you a bunch of, I guess, stimulus. It makes you keep like, you're like, oh yeah, let me do this real quick. Okay, did that, let me go do this other room real quick. And you've got all these different rooms and stuff, so you're like constantly doing stuff. And where I'm at now, I've got pretty much all of the training classrooms. So every character has 7 different stats, and these classrooms you can assign a person to. It'll allow you to like level up that specific stat. So like the classroom will level your intelligence, the gym will level up your strength, stuff like that. And then like for example, the strength stat is used for the electric resource. So like if you want to build power and electricity or whatever, you'd put somebody with high strength into there. So what, like for really good examples, I have a level 10 strength guy. I put him into a power plant just by himself. And if anytime I rush him, he starts off at like, he has a 25% chance to like complete that rush, which is really good because all my other, power plants, they start off at like maybe 30%, 35% at the best. And then every time you rush, it goes up. Just for like, I don't even know what you call it, for a little period of time. So you can't like keep rushing and rushing and rushing. You could, and I was doing that for a while. The only problem with that is when you rush a room, either monsters will spawn in the room or a fire will break out. And in my experience, if monsters spawn, it's not that big of a deal because they just shoot them down pretty quickly. I've got a bunch of really good guns already. Ooh. But, yeah. I've got hiccups. It's just a really neat game. There's a lot of stimulus in there for me to just, I was playing it and all of a sudden like 3 hours went by. I was like, what the fuck? But, no, I really want Bethesda to release a Skyrim version of this game. I think that'd be fun. The only problem with this kind of game is I feel like once I've unlocked all the achievements or I've gotten all the rooms, there's like no replayability anymore. Because I've done everything, And some could argue, oh, you don't even need to get all the achievements. Once you've built every room, you've had the full experience of the game. But I'm an achievement bastard. I like them. Pizza's pretty good. But, yeah, just crazy shit. Crazy shit. Got everything, got my wallet. Yep. I was going to talk about something else, but I forgot already. Let me just plug Joe Rogan's podcast again. I just really love that podcast. It's almost consistently good every episode. Just the amount of topics that they cover. Like, yeah, there's some boring parts. Sometimes they'll get into some really dumb subjects. Like, I'm pretty open-minded. I like a little of everything, so I'll listen to it. But there's sometimes, you know, they'll get into a subject for a little too long, and I'll zone out, and then I'll be like, just waiting for something to like perk my ears back up again. But if you have a job where you need to listen to something, or you need to look at Facebook or something, turn Joe Rogan's podcast on and just let it on. Leave that shit on in the back. There's a lot of stuff going on that show. And from 2010, because I'm still on like the first year of the podcast, it's crazy the amount of shit that was going on in 2010 that you forget about. It's crazy. I know this car's coming up behind me, or if it's leaving. So paranoid. I don't know why. I think I've got to get some medication. I was thinking about it the other night at work, and I'm just very, very irritable or paranoid lately. Like, I got some sarcasm thrown at me at work the other day. Pissed me off. I called HR, and then I never called them back once they did call me back, because it kind of like blew over or whatever. But I was sitting there the other night, and my store manager comes up to me and he says, "Hey, did you get, you know, some of your work done over there? Like, I have a checklist of things I have to get done." He's like, "Did you, you know, get the department lined and leveled?" I said, "No, I don't do that till like 5:30, 6 o'clock usually." I said, "Oh." He's like, "Oh, did you get the load done?" I was like, "I didn't get the load done because there was, you know, there was too much for just me to handle. They left me over a pallet, and they left me like 5 different carts in there." "Oh, okay. Well, before you leave, make sure you line and level and get the stock done, and if you have time, work some back stock." And I'm thinking, like, I've been doing this shit since February. I've been, I pretty much, I'm the main closer. Like, I close, for a while ago, I was closing 5 days a week, almost 4 days a week, I think. And then recently they've had me close like maybe twice a week, or 3 times a week. But still though, like, I have the most closing experience at this point. I do it every week. And, like, for them, they do the same thing when I was on night crew. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, make sure you line level the store and work some stock, and if you get time, maybe go check the water back stock." Like, every night they would like bring me this to-do list, like I'm supposed to be engaged every time they tell me, like, "Wow, okay, I'm on it. So, okay, if I have time, I'll get to this." Like, I'm not, like, no. Don't give me the same dialogue. This isn't a fucking JRPG. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear, like, "Hey, so, you know, the load's about this big. You guys think you're going to be able to finish?" And then they'll be like, "Yeah, you know, we've been averaging this much lately. Maybe it'll be pretty close." You know, give me some unique dialogue. I don't want to hear the same, "Here's your checklist. Let me go over it for you real quick." Like, no, don't. And the worst part is like, so this all pisses me off, and like, internally I want to be like, "No, stop talking to me like that. Stop it. You know, why are you so stupid?" Like, I want to like kind of like tell them to like fuck off pretty much. Not even fuck off, but just like, you know, let them sit here. Like, why would you tell me that? I don't need this information. You're giving me pointless information. But like, the other part is like, "Nah, that's just pointless confrontation. There's nothing to gain from that." But then this other part of me is like, "What do you mean there's nothing to gain from it? There's plenty to gain from it, you know?" But then there's the other part of me. It's like, "No, dude, it's a verbal confrontation. You don't get anything out of that. You literally don't." So I don't know. It's not hurting me in the long term, but it's like when I'm seeing all these other fuckheads not doing what I'm doing in the department, it's like, well, you should be telling the shit to them, not to me. You know, I've been there for 5 years. I know what the fuck I'm doing. If I don't know what I'm doing, then that's a problem. But it wouldn't be addressed anyways because they don't address problems. But yeah, this store just sucks. This store sucks some big ass. And I talk about it constantly. I hate it. I hate that place. I was working today at my other job, and I'm like, I was talking about the store. I was like, yeah, I tried to call sick, and they said, have a good night, sarcastically. I'm telling the story again or whatever, and what do you call it? I just realized, I'm like, why am I talking about this place again? Like every Saturday, I talk about how much I hate this place. So like maybe, you know, subconsciously, like it's just putting out into the room that, you know, like, yeah, I'm ready for this job. I don't want the other job. But then another part was like, nah, I just like to rage about it. But the paranoia thing, though, I don't know. The other night, I kept thinking that, this customer was going to come over and yell at me again. Because they had, like, yelled at me once. And, like, I kept seeing them, like, in the general, like, area. So, like, oh, this fucker's going to come back again and bitch at me. So I was thinking that, but then they never showed back up. I kept seeing them. And then, like, whenever I see a police officer, like, staring at me when he drives by me, I'm always thinking, like, oh, fuck, he probably diagnosed me as, like, a criminal or something. He's gonna come back and get me. But, obviously, I haven't done anything wrong. So I'm not worried, but, like, there's something going on in my brain where it's like, yep, that's gonna happen. And I've always had, like, a scenario-based brain. Like, I'm always thinking of different scenarios and different things that could go down, but who knows, that's just some weird shit. You got a weird brain. Ugh. I'm gonna end this video here. I think it's been over 20 minutes. What's it say? Yep, 21:46. Okay. Wedding is less than a month away. We're getting there. We are getting there. This truck is so weird because the heating only works on setting number 4. And sometimes when you're running the truck all day, like I am, you know, 4 hours a day, it'll randomly kick on. Like if I'll sometimes just like, if I'm driving there and I have it on at setting 4, I'll get like halfway to work and I'll be like, I'm warm enough now, and then I'll kick it down to like setting 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden it'll it'll turn on. It always freaks me out because I'm thinking like, oh shit, the engine's blown up, because all of a sudden it goes like click click, and I'm like, oh shit, that's what the heater sounds like. I always forget for a second. It's crazy. There's a tiki torch randomly on the sidewalk. Saw a picture of Ku Klux Klan members being hung from trees down in the south. Thought that was kind of funny. I just can't believe that there's like people who are like aggressively racist, like evilly. Like it makes no sense. Like hang them or slave them, or you know, like kick them out of our cities. Like, fuck you. Like, that's insane that people like that are out there. I don't like those kind of people. It's stupid. I'm more in the camp of, let's kick child molesters out. That seems a little more effective. How about rapists? Let's get them out of here. Oh, he served his time. He's learned. The thing is, if a dog bites a person and you kick the dog to the side and say, you fucking dumb dog, and you beat it or whatever, and the dog, you know, seems to be acting fine now, it's gonna bite again. It really is. What the fuck is going on over there? But it sounds crazy. Let me see.